Greetings, fellow explorers. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Starsector Homeworld, Episode 37, Uncovering Secrets in the Abyss. So, as you can see, the priority right now is to continually improve the fleet. The goal is to remove the D mods and add the S mods for the ships involved, and just to keep cycling through our ships for D mod and S modding so that we have an elite crew. I had also just mentioned that I should report to Hedge. So I'm going to be reporting to the Hedge that I found Sentinel and they're disconnected community or whatever. And Scorpio, thank you for the gifted sub. Cheers. I'll drink to that. So we're building up a nice little nest egg, which I'm sure I'm going to use up quickly once our new planet is born, for lack of a better term. And then the other thing is, because the colony crises is raising so slowly, after our report to the Hedge, I may consider heading to go get the Abyss Gate, the gate hauler. Whoa, Belle, thank you for all the massive cheer as well. Because in handing over the giant weapon, we bought ourselves a lot of time for the next colony crisis, and there should be plenty of time to go do some other things. So I intend to do just that. Alright, let's go to Galatia. They have a Hedge colony there that we can be like, yo, you got some people. Alright. There's a lost fringe colony, Sentinel, you want to know about? As the station commander nods along with surprise and concern as you tell her about the lost crew forming a colony on Sentinel and surviving for over 100 cycles while maintaining protocol, I must bring this matter to Strategic Assembly immediately. I suspect we'll dispatch a relief and reinforcements. So, yep, my rep, money, etc. I'm gonna leave out the whole, you used AI modified fleets, because, I don't need to trade my goodwill for bad will. So, alright, that got done. That was real simple. I think what I'm gonna do is look at the current known bounties, and if any of them are really spicy, chase them down, and if not, I don't really love any of them. I think I'm going to build the orbital hab and get the gate hauler. All right. So for headed to gate hauler, we are going to need to reduce our fleet down to the bare bones because it is a very long trip, which requires a lot of fuel and supplies, which I do not want to tote with me the entire time. So I'm not bringing all of this, I'm bringing some small subset of the ships I currently have. But I think it's about time. I could have done this a while ago, and I really ought to just get it done. So, my current ship, what's its D-mod? Damaged weapon mounts? That's fine. I'm gonna leave it. If it was damaged fuel, I would have considered changing that, but damaged weapon mounts doesn't bother me at all. Alright, so fleet. Storage. I'm gonna put away, so increased maintenance structural damage. What I'm gonna do is I intend to keep some ships, but not the erratic fuel injector. Right? There's some ships that just shouldn't come because they're just not going to be efficient. So we'll bring the champion. And then I'm going to go through the roster and find the ones that, don't have fuel problems that also have D-mods. So Party Bus. Highland Timber, maybe? Let's see. Party Bus has structure damage is fine. Highland Timber has degraded engines, but should still be fine. Now, the other thing I might consider doing is making sure that we travel, like, quite fast. Because it's a very long trip, and I do not want slow ships. Because that would be a real problem. And Chaos Engine, thank you for the gifted sub. So right now, our burn level is 9 or 10 max burn level for all. Which is totally legit. That's no problem at all. Okay, so we have 3 ships so far, besides my own. And that might be all I bring. All right. Storage. I do not need this many crew. Like, don't need to pay them. So we got supplies. I'll get a little bit more. We got fuel. Then the other thing I'm going to want to take is 1,000 transplutonics for reasons. I can leave behind a lot of the heavy machinery. Don't need that much. Probably don't need this much volatiles either. I might as well just have as much storage space as possible. Modding extra fuel tanks. I don't think it's going to be... Well, let's look at our range. Before we consider that. If we refuel... Because we're heading to, like, Limbo, right? Let's see what we could do about fuel. So the Mule has ox tanks. The Colossus can has ox tanks. And I can put ox tanks in the salvage rig. Glitch obviously has ox tanks. And maybe I'll put auxiliary fuel tanks on some of the other, like, just ships that I'm bringing with me. If they don't have logistics slots taken. I'm not going to do it for my capital ship, though. My capital ship stays combat full. Alright, so that's a little bit more fuel that we can eke into this thing. That should be fine. I think the plan is to gate to maybe SO Exodus, refuel, and then gate like as far southwest as we can. So we don't have a lot of gates. No, we have Delta Sauri. Yeah, okay. That should be fine. The only thing we have to be careful of is I don't have, like, the giant mega fleet I normally do, so I need to make sure not to take, like, needless fights. Nothing costs extra fuel until you go over your cargo max here, your cargo capacity max. So as long as I stay under the cargo capacity max, the fuel costs remain the same. But I don't need, like, buckets and buckets of fuel. Mostly because I'm going to be getting stuff down there, and I don't want to fill my cargo holds with things that I do not need to bring with me. Cheers. Alright, I'm going to refuel at Nordia, and then gate over to Delta Sauri, and then hopefully slingshot my way down to Limbo area. Oh. Didn't really need much. Cool. Our fuel costs for this fleet are a lot lower. A lot lower. 22 fuel per light year. Normally it's like triple that or something like that. Alright, monthly income looks good. Actually, it looks a little low. It's because we have shortages. Ah, got it. Okay, that's fine. So thankfully we already had known gates over the west area here. And we're at a blue giant. I think what's best is if I take this blue giant and sling myself towards Concordiance, which is another gravity well, and then sling myself to Limbo after that. That's probably going to be my best bet. So do a 2 slingshot. Good so far. And you can see my fuel range allows me to, like, easily get back to core. What was that? Oh. Let me just check. Because if it was a fuel ship, you know, that would have been worth the fuel. Okay. The orbital station megastructure is done. So now we have something to raffle off. Raffle timer's up. And I'm gonna call this unnamed. One of the first things I'm going to add to this thing is I'm actually tempted to add commerce and get it holo-suited. But let's put a way station there for accessibility, and then eventually an orbital station for security, and then a megaport for the spaceport. But yeah, it's good news. And the plan probably is to grow it to next colony size, and then add in the high command once it's colony size 2, but have it make money at colony size 1. While I'm heading over to the black hole, I'm just gonna pop my head into any of the local systems. I should have been doing this the whole time, just to see if there was like a gate. No gates here, but there's a jungle world that I want to survey. Guess I can sell the server data. And we'll check the black hole for gates as well before slinging. No gates. That's fine. Wishbringer, thank you for the resub. Alright, we are headed to Limbo. Generating slip surge. And off we go. Yep, welcome to the Abyss. Hey, look, we found a random gravity well. Let's pop into it. And there is, oh, nice. There are some points of interest down here, and it's been expanded upon since, like, the last update. But don't expect to move very quickly, because the Abyss slows you way down. Alright, spaceport is done. We'll upgrade to megaport. Building the way station. And this recently got supplied, so its growth percent is pretty good. Sweet. So the Abyssal lights, you can interdiction pulse them for an extra bonus. I forget where you read about that, though. And it will increase your burn level briefly. So you don't have to go so snail slow. You can also scan them for radar range. But for me, I already know where I'm headed. I'm headed to Limbo, so I don't really care about finding stuff in here. I care about travel speed. But as you can see, it doesn't last very long. We're already back down to burn 6. Okay, we have another gravity well. I'll pop into it. You never know what you might find. Well, I kind of do know what I'm going to find because I've done the Abyss so many times, but let's pretend it's new to me. It's so quiet. Cold light begins to grow in the primary display. A subtle pulse begs for your attention. Captain I, it's your navigation officer, who glances at sensors and receives a nod. The light is moving, coming closer. You consciously pull your eyes from that comfortless light, diminished, but not bereft of all of its call through even the meager medium of the primary display. It's come to you. Sir, your sensors officer's voice is strained, picking up from the light that came from out of nowhere. Navigation interrupts. Oh, 1 second. Fleet drive bubble in the red, instability increasing, holding, alert to multiple penetrations, and space fissures detected inside the volume. A pause at the bridge crew takes in the eruption of alerts on their displays. Tactical takes initiative and activates the combat alarm to send all crew to battle stations. Frantic activity from all posts, chatter between the stations, coordinating response. Sensors calls over the low din. It's homing in on our active sensor emissions. Go to maximum emission control, MCON 00 Alpha, immediate execute. So, at your command, the perceived chorus of a multitude of ship systems and machinery dies down with a deepening sigh into muted quietude. All that remains is the breath and bodies of your bridge crew, a strange assertion of your shared humanity. Backup E-lighting, simple chemical things provide an eerie glow. A series of dimly pulsing commands illuminate your executive interface. A flock of ardent subsystems ready to awaken from minimum operation at your touch. A hidden blackness feels the brush of a shadow, less than a morsel worthy of wakefulness. By some analog of disrupted instinct, a few listless tendrils explore this disturbance, this ripple in the darkness behind the night. The opposing fleet has executive officers. Okay. So we have these things, for lack of a better term. And I'm not certain the ships I brought are like up to this task, but the hell with it. So we're in the Abyssal hyperspace, so missile range and top speed are all like tanked. And I'm mostly concerned about just like, there we go. Burn, baby, burn. Keeping my ships safe. Oh God. Don't cook him. Nope, you got cooked. Now the laser range I have here is doing me a lot of favors. Being able to like stay far enough away that I'm not like getting super murdered by their stuff. But I am worried for the other ships, because there goes another one. I may need to knock out their lobies before taking out the danger ones. Because for lack of a better term, their big thing is a bit tankier than I can swiftly deal with. Because my ship is not designed for quick burst damage. The champion's holding out, but I'm pretty sure he's going to get destroyed too. Unless I hurry. Okay. I don't love sticking my butt towards the big guy, but let's just get rid of this thing real quick. Squalls are being fired off. And the champion, I don't know why he turned around, but he like mooned these tendrils for some reason and got himself destroyed. I wasn't watching the whole fight, but it did look like pilot error to me. Maybe he got flamed out or something. Unfortunately, there's a whole bunch of the champion debris in the way. My other worry is I'm not going to have the crew to even limp my fleet back to core, so I may have to scuttle stuff. Especially, or just not even recover it if it's recoverable. We'll see. Come on, big guy. You don't want none of this heat, huh? Put a bunch of garbage between us, but I'm gonna get you all the same. Well, I officially won the war against clouds. Yep. Pyrrhic victory all the same. Basically I just did everything and my co-pilots did nothing. So let's see, what did you pick up? Structural damage. Increased maintenance. I think what I'm going to do is I am not going to recover Highland Timber. Or Aztec. Just Party Bus. So, sorry about that. Because I won't have the crew for it otherwise. So, we got the Shrouded Substrate. An anomalous exotic matter held in semi-stable stasis using makeshift containment units. It is recommended to employ hazardous material handling protocols 6, 7, 9, and 13. And we also got Shrouded Lens. Spin it up during combat maneuvers, adjusting the frequency of probes adapted from drive field stabilizers. It would create hyperspace fractures, which could cause terrible damage to end space structures, starships, for instance, as well as other weapons. All right, right-click the substrate. You join your technology officer and engineering chief in a small briefing room overlooking the shop bay dedicated to what has been euphemistically dubbed Special Salvage. Has suited technicians attend to the containment machinery, stepping over coils of tube and wire. A mess of makeshift components were pulled from the common Microforge libraries when torn apart and re-engineered to operate in this unusual, even extraordinary application. Engineering wears a frown, tapping a tripod as they observe their ongoing work. Tech can barely contain their excitement. Sir, they say in unison at your arrival. So what is it? Exotic matter, Tech exclaims. Engineering interrupts. Another way of saying we don't know what it is, and it doesn't act how physics says it should. Your technology officer begins again. Enthusiasm tempered somewhat. Obviously, I was about to, sir. The tech turns to face you, perhaps to curb further interruptions. Analysis is preliminary and proceeding. A quick glimpse at the frowning engineering chief carefully. So, what is it? Your engineering chief makes a show of looking to Tech expectantly, mouth quite intentionally shut. It appears they've had this argument already. As Tech passes a look of consternation back towards your chief engineer. In truth, I could not say exactly. And unfortunately, we're not equipped to perform a full scientific investigation. Clearly, it is part of, or a product of, the hostile force which we bested. But to know what it is, you'd need a full science team and laboratory facilities to even begin to approach the right questions, to say nothing of answers. Like the Galatia Academy? Yes, exactly, Tech nods. Although, your engineering chief answers, there's nothing like this in the public archives. The Academy is supposed to be neutral, but as you know, sir, the hegemony will reach in and put its hands on the controls, so to speak, if it sees something it doesn't like. The hegemony doesn't like disruption, and this hand is extended to indicate the contents of the work bay. Tech nods agreement. The Ministry of Technology Standards would surely seize such specimens. I could not say what they would do with them, but we would not see them ever again. That much is certain. Try Tech then? Tech nods. Their facility would be more than able to perform this research, and, a smile, they're likely to pay very well if what they say is true. Exactly what do they say? The company pays very well indeed for unique specimens. Tech explains: artifacts, domain tech, xenobiology, anything unknown to the present Persean sector, anything strange which might demonstrate uncommon principles or serves an unexpected use. Can it be weaponized? Tech looks to engineering, who can barely suppress a grin despite a previous air of skepticism. Your chief engineer nods and flips a tripod around. It's pretty simple, sir. Scale up the testing rig, use modified common equipment to produce outputs in the combat application range. A robust chassis is not difficult. We're already equipped to repair modular components of most weapon systems using microforged components and existing supply stocks. They pause, looking into the workbay once more. The key is this substrate. It provides the core, the amplification, the transformation. Tech speaks up. Using sensor data recorded during our encounter with the hostile entities, we believe it is possible to reliably reproduce certain effects which have been observed. The schematics scrolling before you are complex, but you recognize the conduits and capacitors common to energy weapon mounts. And something strange at the center of each design, some beating heart which does not belong within the human creations. You trust your officers enough not to ask if the projected power outputs are an error. You've already seen what these things are capable of. Show me what it can do. So, these are potential weapons to be assembled. The pseudoparticle jet, the hungering rift, or the inimical emanation, but I'm not going to do that, as we are not trying to paint an even larger target on our back. And the other one. So we obviously can right-click to manufacture a weapon with the shrouded substrate. So now the lens. You find your technology officer and chief engineer in deep discussion over one of the unusual specimens held in the special salvage bay. This lens, a working term of course, does not operate in normal space as such. Tech is deep in lecture mode over an arcane hollow diagram. You can tell they've been talking for some minutes from engineering's impatient eye roll. It could be in place deep within the hull, in a specifically stabilized cradle for safety, Tech continues. Engineering appears pained at describing this protocol as safe. Tech proceeds without acknowledging any objection. Spin it up during combat maneuvers, adjusting the frequency of the probes adapted from the drive field stabilizers. It would create hyperspace fractures, which could cause terrible damage to end space structures. Starships, for instance? Now, for obvious reasons, at theoretical range is infinite. A weapon with an infinite range, you say? Both jump at your words, standing at attention. Sir, they say in uncharacteristic unison. Engineering takes the opportunity to finally get a word in. Accuracy decreases in, interestingly, a sharp harmonic progression. But this means anything beyond mid-range at combat parameters will effectively create an energetic burst at random spots anywhere within the end space universe. They side-eye Tech. Just another blip of cosmic background radiation. Tech looks like they might say something, but no words come. Engineering fills in the silence again. Practically, it could only target a reasonably nearby hostile. You work the undeniable possibility that the Luddic faith would view any use of their technology as literally demonic. You could be declared heretical outlaw and hunted by the Knights of Blood and Luddic Path alike. So, Hull mod, Shrouded Lens. So this is a Hull mod that you can add, which would be maybe a problem to add, right? Where is it? Here it is. The lens, in the loosest sense of the term, focuses on nearby objects, seemingly at random, deals 75 energy damage, and generates 75 flux. The rate of fire depends on the size of the ship the Hull mod is installed on. Cannot be turned off during combat operations, and continues to function if the ship is venting, flux, or overloaded. Demonic. Well, that was different. All right. You are named Ink. Cool. And continuing to Limbo with our slightly broken ships. Well, I mean, my capital ship is fine, but Party Bus is has seen better days. And yes, this is not modded. This is base game. Okay. We have more. Unfortunately, like, I have no one to help me with this. So, this might suck. We'll see. A lot of this will rely on my ability to swiftly disengage, I think. Focusing targets, forcing them back. Yeah, don't do that. Let's try to knock some of these tendrils out. I think if any fight warrants red light, it's this one. As much as I would like to go in for killing blow on any of these guys, oh god. I need to worry about flux management and mitigating destruction of the ship. Oh, there goes the tendrils, coming in again. Oh god, don't like this. Well, I don't think this ship's gonna survive. Because I am flamed out and floating now. And I don't think, regardless of my if I can't outrun them, there's nothing I really can do but sit and die. All right. Retreat. Leave. Okay. Don't have that Pegasus anymore. That's just the way it is. We are not overstaffed. Could. And we'll just keep going. So this is Limbo. We have a mothballed equipment cache. And I no longer have the forces to deal with the defender of this equipment cache. Which means this is very much a situation where we have to come back later. Because they ain't squat I can do now, right? And we have an automated mining station. Again, with defenders that I do not have the capacity to deal with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to survey Hades, do a ping scan, and then get back to core to refit, refuel, and resupply. My nearest gate, I don't think is all that close. What I'm going to try to do is find gates in this sector rather than go back to Delta Sauri. Going back to Delta Sauri would be like a last resort. And then for ink, yeah, it's doing its thing. Cool. It also gives us a chance to potentially get back to ink and install a Dealmaker Holosuite on a commerce section within their within their you know, planet buildup. Come on, Abyss. Let me out. So one thing that is worth noting is because as per the details here, we are intentionally avoiding in the rules unique stuff. There's very low reason to try to engage any of the Abyssal forces, I would say, because it's not like we're intending to utilize them. So next time we come into the Abyss, what we can do is we can just basically not engage them. Meaning I don't need a mega fleet, I just need one that like I can somewhat rely on. Okay, we have 19 days for the way station. Got it. And we should be out of the Abyss pretty soon. I think we're on the outer edges now. Alright, as far as colony threats go, the impending blockade is 543 plus 8. Yeah, we're out. Cool. 543 plus 8, so it won't be long until we are able to trigger that event. No gates, but a desert world that I'll ping anyway. We don't really need the money, but like, I don't know, server data is server data. Plus it might have ruins. No, it doesn't have ruins, but still, server data. So one of the issues that we have is because we don't really have large fuel capacity ships, what we can deploy in like deep space is pretty limited. That was honestly the real bottleneck for us. And there's not really a way around that other than being able to just like getting lucky and finding you know, Prometheus or something like that. Or even another Phaeton that we have. 2 Phaetons would be fine. Okay, way station's made. That's going to help ink grow faster with the accessibility gone up by 10. With the way station built, we can build something else. I am going to build commerce. God, so many points of interest. Not a single one is gates. Come on, gates. Where are you? I'm sort of curious. I don't think that these are, like, illegal, per se. Meaning, I don't think getting picket scanned would matter if you had one of these, but like all the same, putting them away seems prudent. I know there's been like desert worlds and barren desert worlds and tundra worlds that I've been skipping. I'm just trying to find the gate or a gate. But if this one doesn't have a gate, I'm going to use the gravity well of this binary system to fling myself somewhere useful. It has a gate. Last attempt was fruitful. Lovely. So we have a gate kind of near the Abyss system, and it also happens to be a gate at a big gravity well binary system, allowing us the slingshot or slip surge, I should say. So yeah, very useful. Thank you for tuning in to Starsector Homeworld, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rodamont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow stateless.